Hey everyone, Happy New Year. We're January 2nd. Big start into the new year already. Hope everybody had a great New Year's Eve. Looked after yourselves. Didn't party too hardy. So starting out the new year, lots of work to do on the Fargo here. Get things rolling and get her done. So I'll just show you what I'm at. It's quite a mess. Everything is blown apart. So we can start doing the final assembly. So we've got front clips off, motor and transmissions out. I got parts everywhere. There's no room to swing a cat in here anymore. So been working. I've got air lines all run from the airbags using push-in DOT fittings. Went with the best quality ones. I hate having problems with leaks. So I started out here using some 1/2-inch rubber line for protectors wherever the line is going to rub on the frame. Didn't like how that's working out, so I started playing around and found Gorilla Tape makes a wicked good insulator and holds everything nice and steady. So what I did was anywhere where the DOT reinforced lines were going to rub on the frame or anything, I put 2 good layers of Gorilla Tape around, so it should be good for a long time. So I've got all of the lines run into the box in the back. They're all coming up through a big rubber grommet in the center of the box, or in the corner of the box over there. Got no leaks. It held 90 pounds air pressure in the tank, and all 4 corners were up when I come out this morning after I only worked a couple hours on it yesterday. I was a little bit too busy with New Year's Day and spending some time with the wife. So this all needs to be cleaned up. Everything kind of fastened to the box. There's all the fuses and everything. I've got to make some holders for them. And then I'll clean up all the wiring. Up front here is the next thing I'm going to work on. This firewall is a terrible mess. Back when I first started the build, we were going to put a small block Chevy in here, and I got real cut happy. This is going back 6-7 years, and I cut the firewall out thinking I was going to have a big recess in there. Well, that wasn't the case, so I welded that piece back in. But now, as you can see, the whole firewall is covered with holes, and we need very few of them. So anything I've got with an arrow here is going to get plugged up. These 2 I put in. There was plugs in them. That's where the heater hoses are going through. These 2 up here are for the AC hoses. So I've got all the rest of them to plug up. The old gas pedal hole here. This one here I'm going to leave for a pass-through for all my wires. And then all of these other ones I have to weld up. These ones here are staying. That's access for the brake master cylinder. I built a 1/4-inch steel plate that'll bolt over top of that and reinforce it all. So next I'm going to start cutting patches, and I'm going to get this firewall all ground up and cleaned up, and then I'm going to start welding patches in. So once I get started on this, I'll bring you back and show you what's happening there. Okay guys, I just wanted to bring you back, show you another little trick. You've probably seen it on other channels, but in the firewall I've got 3-4 1/2-inch holes that had to be filled, and to make a perfect steel plug to patch those with, it's pretty simple. I have a steel plate that I use for bucking steel. What I did was I cut a 1/2-inch, or drilled a 1/2-inch hole in it. I took a 1/2-inch bolt, cut the head off of it, fits in there nice. Then just put a little slot with your zip cut blade. You can stick your piece of steel in, and it hammers out a perfect plug every time. Takes up just a little bit of zapping with the grinder just to knock the little edge off. I can stick this plug in with a magnet, and now all I have to do is weld that plug in the hole there. So just another quick tip. Well, all the holes are welded up that don't need to be there. I got the 4 holes on the left or passenger side for AC and heater, 1 for the hood. I got 1 hole in the center here for wiring harness, the brakes, and other than that, they're all done. The e-brake comes out of this one, and the one thing that I'm the best at is making a hell of a mess in the shop. It is a disaster in here. But when you're building trucks and cars, that's what happens. So, okay, we'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully I'm going to get some rubberized rock guard on everything. And then the engine and trans can go back in here. Hey everyone, we're back again. It's the next morning. I got a whole bunch done here. I'll just show you and show you what the plan is going forward here. So I've got all of the holes filled in the firewall. I got 2 left over here for the AC and heater hoses. Got a couple mounting holes for the vintage air unit. I got a pass-through up here for engine wiring, for the start circuit, gauges and such. The hole on this side is for the e-brake. And I may have to put another hole over here for taillight and headlight wiring. But I just wanted everything filled so that I could carry on with the installation here. On the underside, I completely wire brushed the underside of the cab between the frame rails, wiped everything down with lacquer thinners, and everything has a real good heavy coat of rubberized rock guard. This is the product. No, that's not the product I'm using. Look at that. Go figure, I'm not prepared. The product I'm using is Proform European Texture. Why it's called European Texture, I have no idea. I guess they must be rough around the edges or something. Rubberized gravel guard. It's a pretty tough product. It's a little expensive, but it goes a long way. So next on the agenda, I've got the transmission up. I'm going to get it all cleaned up here. One of the dowels was stuck in it. I had to get that out. I have to take the tail housing back off and silicone up where it goes onto the transmission. Then I can put the flywheel or the ring gear back on the engine. I can bolt these two together, and then they're going to go in for the last time. So things are looking up, really moving forward here. I've been waiting for a long time for final assembly on this, and that's where we're coming to. So I'll be back here once I get things bolted up and going back in. Okay guys, here we are a couple hours later. I got engine and transmission married. I still got to put the torque converter bolts in. That'll be easier underneath. Motor mounts are in and bolted up. Just about to lift it up, put the transmission mount in, and engine is installed for the last time. So once I get this buttoned up and the engine lift out of the way, I'll bring you back. Okay guys, engine's in, bolted down. Time to start bolting all the goodies on. Gonna get the intake manifold on next. I've got to get some wiring so I can wire up a plug for an electric stove I bought. I'm going to high temperature paint the exhaust, the headers, and then bake them. VHT has a extreme high temperature paint for headers and such, and I'm going to give it a try. I'll show you the process I'm using when I get to that, but pretty happy how things are going back together here. So we'll return when we have a little more progress. Hey guys, so welcome back. I got a whole bunch more done here. I got the intake on, the part of the air cleaner that I'm going to use, and then I proceeded to go underneath. I got the drive shaft in, I got the transmission all bolted down, transmission's all serviced, I got oil filter on the motor or the engine, and I got it full of oil. And I was doing a test fit on the brace that goes between the block and the transmission, and I'm going, geez, I wonder what side the starter was on. And that's when stupid hit me right between the eyes, and I went, geez, my dust cover's missing. This piece is supposed to go between the transmission and the engine. So now that screw up means I either got to pull the engine, the transmission, or both. So taking a whole bunch of steps back, and really not pleased with myself. So I'm going to see how I can go about doing this, and I'm hoping I can just pull the transmission back about 3/4 of an inch, slide that down inside, and put it all back together. So here's hoping. After I get that done, I'm going to do a little video on how I'm going to paint these headers using VHT extreme high temperature paint, and then bake it on in an oven. So anyhow guys, thanks for tuning in, thanks for subscribing, and we'll catch you on the next one. Dummy.